Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I am creating a baby card. And this one I did some mirrored stamping and that's the first time that I'm doing it, so also together with you. So it didn't went perfectly, but it went alright, and that's the most important thing. So I have taken out my old stamping tool to help me, because this one was a bit more bendable, first of all, and also this mat from Waffle Flowers could fit in it, sort of ish. So I'm going to stamp out this image doing some mirrored stamping. And I'm going to do some noline coloring today, so that was also something that helped me with being a bit more forgiving about the mistakes that I made, because you can sort of cover it up easily compared to when you would use some black inks. So here I've taken a huge piece of Strathmore Bristol Smooth and I'm just rubbing on the back so that the stamp can transfer to this paper. So that was that, and then I thought, okay, I need a mask. But then I forgot that I also needed to mirror stamp my mask. So it didn't went really smoothly, but it went alright, So I stamped it out. I didn't realize it still that I was not right this way, and then I realized it. So again, some mirror stamping, and then I will just take some post-it notes to get on top of it. And you might ask yourself why I'm doing this, because this stamp set, in my opinion, just perfect like this, without any need of mirror stamping for a baby card. I love it just the way it is. But the people where I was making it for were like, shouldn't there be a dad as well, or a mother as well, depending on how you look at the big bunny of the stamp set itself. So I was like, okay, I can do that. So mirror stamping it is. So here I have my mask, and it wasn't perfect, but what I needed was visible enough. So I'm just cutting out that one side to help me, and then I will place this mask on my Strathmore Bristol Smooth on my mirrored stamp image, and then I will stamp out the image again. Now also here something went wrong. I was really focusing on the little feet of the bunny that was going to be stamped over if I wasn't making sure of it. So I was thinking about that, but I forgot about the little head. As you can see here, the head is a little bit uncovered. So I sort of had half of the head of the little bunny stamped out again. It was not the plan, but it happened. But then again, as I said in the beginning, I'm using antique linen to stamp everything out, and you can use your paintbrush and just wiggle around it and fix the problem. So that's what I did. I'm stamping out this image to get the second parent, and then I removed the mask, not knowing that there was anything going wrong, and then I thought, should I start over or not? And then I thought, it's the first time that I'm mirror stamping, and I actually didn't want to do it over. Call me lazy, but I just worked my way around it. I took a damp paintbrush, a clean damp paintbrush, and I went over that face that I've stamped out twice, and then a paper towel, and that's how it works. Distress ink can be reactive with water, so I just worked it away, and then later on when I'm coloring the images, I will sort of invent a second arm for that image so that it's holding the bunny completely. So here I'm doing what I'm always doing. I am smooshing down my inks, my distress inks, and then I am going to take a large amount of the ink on my paintbrush. I'm adding it to the sides where I want some more shadow normally to go, and then I will make my paintbrush damp and drag out that color towards the rest of the image. and I'm just going to keep adding layers and layers until I'm happy with the depth and shadow created. Also with these 3 bunnies, I wanted to keep them all brown. It wasn't always easy to really differentiate from the other bunnies with the same color, of course. So I'm adding a lot of layers to get it right. But that's what I'm doing this whole time. There is a lot of coloring in this video again, because no-line coloring takes a bit more time, and I think it's really handy to also see that I just keep adding layers. If you like the first layer, you can stop there, that's no issue. If you like adding more layers, then you just add more layers. It's whatever feels right for you, whatever you like, that's perfect. Okay, just do what feels right, do what feels good, do what makes you happy. Okay, lately I have been mailing with one of you. She's called Annette. Hey Annette, if you're watching. And I just wanted to mention there are a lot of people that are afraid to start with no-line coloring, and I get that. It's a bit terrifying, I think, and I think we all want to create gorgeous things and things that are out of our comfort zone. We just think that we cannot do that. But we all need to start somewhere, and you will only get better if you try it and just keep trying and keep evolving, and that's how that works. So if you have distress inks at home, or if you have zigs, because sort of the same as with a paintbrush. Personally, I find Copics really hard because they have a brush tip and it's not always easy. You can do it with Copics, I also did it before, but I prefer having a bit more control about the brush that I'm using. But do whatever you feel comfortable with, and just try it out. Really, the first time can be really sucky and it can just be annoying and you like, I never want to try it again. I know that was my first time, and now I'm really addicted, and I just love the idea that you get, that it's sort of coming out of a children's book. That's just really what I adore. So that's also why I'm showing it so much. Just try it out. And I mentioned Annette before. She is amazing. She just tried it out, and she has sent me some of her amazing cards. Really, you can do this if you want to. You can really do no-line coloring. You can do watercoloring with distress inks. If you're really afraid about the combination of watercoloring with maybe distress inks or anything else and no-line, you can also get this effect with just watercoloring and using the black lines when you're stamping it out with black inks. So if you first want to try that out and evolve in that, that's fine. And then maybe you feel more comfortable to start with the no-line coloring, and it's a beginning, you know? So if you want to create something like this once in a lifetime, or just want to start with it, try to find something, and if you're not comfortable, try to eliminate one of the things that make it uncomfortable for you, evolve in that one, and then add something new to it. So really, I adore reading all your comments and like that you like the no-line coloring. I'm trying to explain it how I do it. There are different ways of doing it, of course, but this is what works for me. And if you like the end result, just try it. And don't be too harsh on yourself the first time. Don't do that. We're all learning and evolving, and that's the most important thing. And if you like what you're doing, why don't try a bit more? Huh? Okay, so that was my support call for you all. I really think that everyone can do this. Some will need a bit more time than others. I mean, I did this before I started with YouTube, so I feel comfortable with it showing to you, but it took some time as well. It's not like I did this and the first time it worked out immediately. That's not the case. So just try it, come out of that comfort zone, and who knows, this is something that you really adore doing. Okay, so I really want to encourage you to try it out if you like the end result. And for the rest, I will stop talking now. I think I talked enough. I am putting on some music for the rest of the coloring and I will be back afterwards. If you have watched till now, you survived the coloring, so we are going to continue with the sentiment. As you can see right now, with the mirrored image, I stamped it out a bit crooked, and that's no issue because I took this amazingly large panel. So I'm now going to die cut. No, I'm not going to die cut immediately, but you can see here it's way bigger than an A2 size panel. So I'm going to first heat emboss my sentiment, and it's going to be the welcome to the world. And because I did the noline coloring, it's all browns and really warm, I decided that I wanted to do some heat embossing with my Nuvo Classic Gold embossing powder. My all-time favorite. I don't have a lot of embossing powders, but this one is fabulous. And also, if you haven't heard it, I say it a lot, but when you use the Nuvo embossing powder, or at least the ones that I have, the matte gold here, and you haven't stamped it out completely, the sentiments, and you add the embossing powder, it really melts smoothly. So sometimes if you have some gaps, it fixes that. It's like magic. It's fixed. But in this case, it worked out fine. I'm adding the embossing powder, removing the excess, and then I will heat set this sentiment. And as you can see, the sentiment is also placed a bit crooked to align with the images. And then I will also place my die cut rectangle a bit crooked so that everything is aligned straight in the end and no one will see that it was this way. So I'm just heat setting it, and I love seeing how everything melts and then lovely shine. So that's that. Taking that basic rectangle, and I was trying to fix where I wanted it, but then there was a tiny splatter, so I decided to just add that basic rectangle above it, and this way my images are lower on my card, but I will do some ink blending later on the top of the card, and everything will just work out fine. So I'm fixing this crookedness, and I am adding some purple tape to keep everything in place. Now I am sort of trying to measure with my T-square ruler to check whether it is all sort of right, and then I will take it to my Sizzix Big Shot and just cut it out. So for the background, as you know me, there is some stitch detail. So I'm using my purple tape and I'm masking off those edges. Something that I do experience, and you will see it in this video as well. If you have heat embossed your panel, it can get bulked a bit. And when it's bulked, it's harder to actually get that purple tape right. So I tried it here to fix everything, but then again, it wasn't completely right, as I said before. So I'm first going to add some Victorian velvet. I will also use the aged mahogany, because I love these two colors together. It's soft, and again, it's there, and it's just what I wanted. Also, the baby that is going to get this card, it's a girl, so I'm sort of trying to keep like in the regular what we are used to colors, the pink ones, but I don't want it to be too pink. So this Victorian velvet is a bit of an older pink if you ask me, and it's really soft and nice, so that's what I'm using. So first of all, I try to keep everything really light. And I thought at a certain moment that I was happy with everything, so I stopped with the blending, and then I removed my purple tape and saw that it wasn't done correctly. And then I just needed to go a bit darker to get everything colored and smooth transition. So here on the top it just wasn't good at all. So I just do it again. And my background turned out really dark in the end. I don't mind it actually. I think when I'm looking back and doing the voiceover of this video, I think I actually prefer the end result that I have now than what I was going for in the beginning. So yeah, that's handy, of course. And I'm also doing the ink blending onto Strathmore Bristol Smooth because I did the no-line coloring as well. And as you know, this paper keeps the ink wet for a bit longer, so you also have a lot of wiggle room to get it how you want it to, and that really helped me today. So it's time to remove the purple tape, and here on the right I went underneath the purple tape really softly, but I went under it. So just taking a paintbrush to lift up that color because it reactivates with water and you cannot see it anymore. So that's handy. So that's that. And then I will also be adding some Itty Bitty Stars Matte Gold by Little Things from Lucy's cards. I fiddled a bit with placement because placement of sequins is one of the hardest things of a card, in my opinion. So I played around with it. I added a few, then I added a few more, and once that's on there, I am going to add this to a card base, and then this card is finished. So I kept it really simple, but I think this way the amount of time you put into the coloring, and definitely when you're doing no-line coloring, really gets its glory. Like if there is too much, I sometimes think that all the effort that you put into doing the no-line coloring gets sort of lost, because there are other things that catch the attention. And with this card, I really think that your eyes just are drawn towards those bunnies, and that's what I was going for. So I really like the end result, and I hope that you do too. I hope also that you enjoyed this video, of course. If you did, you can always give this one a thumbs up. That is really appreciated, of course. All the love is welcome. And for the rest, I hope that you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you back soon. Bye!